Hello everybody. Today we're going to be making these pretty Christmas party earrings, and here's what it looks like. Um, you're going to need I just wanted to tell you real fast, the fire polish. I use 3mm fire polish, and one strand is not enough. So I switched to the little 2mm, 2 by 3mm rondelles, crystal rondelles, and you can get, they have quite a few of these. They used to. Pretty sure they still do at the Dollar Bead Box. And I found these little crystal, well, they're not too little actually. They're kind of big crystal slippers um, at Hobby Lobby. And they're like 22mm by 9 or 10, I believe. And then we've got 2 colors of 11O seed beads. We've got our fire line, and I got a size 10 beading needle. And let me pull out, if I can. Alright, we're going to need an ear wire also, and they're not close, so I'll get those later. So let's go ahead and let's put a stop bead. I'll just use one of these and just leave enough tail to sew in. So you go up through the bottom of your stop bead. Now these are a little difficult to work with, these little crystals, because of the way they're drilled. Okay, they're drilled, they're top drilled. So here's what we got to do. We got to needle through, pull it down to the stop bead, and then needle through again, and that will wrap your beading thread around the top, and then we're going to bring it around the bottom. You know, you don't have to really, and then we're going to needle through that hole again and pull your thread down. Make sure it's down around your bead before you start beading. The side. Now, this is a little awkward. Your string will keep sliding off. You'll have to keep putting it back. But it really pays off. These are gorgeous in person. Alright, so we're going to start off with the teal green. We're doing brick stitch. And so you're going to go up under that beading thread that you got wrapped around your bead, and then you're going to come up through that second bead, up through the bottom, pull, and it will set right along the edge. It'll be setting up straight. Now if the first bead's a little wonky, that's okay. We still have to tie it in when we come around. So pick up 1 this time. We start off with 2, but each time after that it's only going to be 1. Go up underneath thread, and then needle up through that seed bead and pull it down tight. Okay. Don't pull too tight because this crystal can cut your thread. But just make sure it's sitting pretty snug up against your bead. So pick up another needle up through that thread, underneath that thread. And see my bead slipped under the thread? It can't slip under. It's got to stay on that side. And then needle up through that seed bead you just put on. Make sure you keep your tail all the way. Let's do it again. Pick up one. These Rocal seed beads are, the hole's pretty small on them. So you might want to use a size 11 beading needle, even a 12. Because they're tight the first time you go through them, you know, pretty much feel tight. And then needle up through that seed bead and pull it down tight. Or at the same time, just make sure your string stays wrapped around. And one more. And the needle up through. And so you've got that much on. Now you might have to move your tail thread or your stop bead out of the way, but hold it tight so your beading thread don't slip off. And keep going around. There's a very small spot that doesn't have a piece of string, so we still have room for one more seed bead on that top string. Oops, get back under there. Keep your seed bead on that side. And then go up through. See how tight that seed bead is? Let's see, keep that out of the way. All right, now we'll skip over and start beading on this string that goes around the bottom. So pick up one and just do the same thing. Needle underneath that string. Make sure the bead stays on the outside and not slips underneath. And then needle up through. So your little seed bead can set straight up along the edge of your bead. Needle under the thread. And then needle up through. That seed bead. Pull it down tight. Now we can pull our tail thread or our stop bead back down tight to hold our threads tight. Okay. Okay, so continue to go all the way around. When you get down here to the bottom edge, just do what you're doing now, just what you did at the top. Continue to go around, and come back, and I'll show when we get. I'll do the last bead where we connect the two and step up to do our next round. Okay. All right. So I'm trying to decide. I have a space. I have a small space. Probably, maybe just big enough to fit a seed bead in. I'm not sure whether to add one or just go ahead and close it up. But I'm going to go ahead and try to add one. So go under the thread. And then up through the bead. Okay, that was good. There was enough room. If you don't have enough room, don't worry about it, because when we jump across and go down through that next bead, we're coming up out of one. We're going to go down through the other side, the next bead on the other side. And we're going to jump up through, back up through the one we was coming out of. And if there's a space in there, it will pull them together. And, you know, mine's not real straight, so I'm going to go back down through that next one. And then to pull them straight, I'm going to try this. Sometimes this works. I'm going to jump up through that next one. Not the previous, but the next. And that helped. Sometimes it does. It just helps pull them out straight. Whichever way they're leaning, you can figure out which side to go to. See? All right. So now, now you just begin again with, we're going to do a row of red. So, lava red. Isn't that gorgeous? So we're going to pick up two. That's how, because on brick stitch, that's how you start, with two. And you're going to find the thread bridge in between two beads. Okay? So we're not going to the first thread bridge, we're going to the second. And we're just going to needle underneath that thread bridge. And up through that second bead. Like I said, these beads are, these 11 O's have a very small hole. Smaller than I'm used to. Alright, and then now it's just, you pick up one. And you go to the next thread bridge, which is, let's see, it's way over here. So in that instance, we'll go ahead, and there's plenty of thread bridge and space to put a bead in between. So let's go ahead and use that space. See, in brick stitch, sometimes you have to make a call like that. See, oops. Goodness. I'm so bad at messing my beads up when I'm beading. Alright, then pick up one. And now you can get that thread bridge just fine. Let me see if I can zoom in anymore. Okay, I'll go up through. See, there we go. I'll do another one, pick up one. is that thread bridge too far away? Or I think it'll be alright. Go up under and then needle up through that bead. Pick up a bead, needle underneath that thread bridge, the next thread bridge in between two beads of the row underneath of the one you're putting on, and pull. Pick up a bead, go underneath that thread bridge, and then needle up through that bead. Pull. Pick up a bead, needle underneath that thread bridge, and then needle up through that bead. Oops, get my thread unstuck. And pull it down. One more together, pick up a bead, needle underneath the next thread bridge, and then needle up through that bead. Okay. Make sure you keep keep everything snug tight up to your center bead. Continue to go around and come back and we'll connect again. While you're still working on this row, I just wanted to come in and show you the Fairy Frost pendant I made from the Fairy Frost collection of beads that I did a review on from Eureka Crystal Beads. And I put a veil and a chain on it. The chain came in the box, but here we have the check silver lined 8 O's that came in a hank as a mystery gift, and then I've got the rosewater opal chatons in the bezel, but around it, swirling around it, kind of bezeling around the bezel, I've got the white opal delicas and the Nile blue delicas and the wisteria, I think it's the light wisteria delicas, and then I used my own super duos in like an icy blue color and then I've got the lunar pearl cabochon in the center, and I thought that was so adorable. And so we will be making the Fairy Frost bracelet to match. This could be, see, I could put a chain around and make that a bracelet, but we'll do a bracelet kind of to go with this pendant. So I just wanted to show you that and show you what was coming up. So we'll finish up our second row, and I'll be right back. Okay, here we are, and we got to close off this row, and we're coming out of the last bead we put on, and then we see right here the wonky kind of sticking up bead. This is the first one we added, so we'll go down through that one. Well, let's hold her. And then we're going to go back up through that first one we was coming out of, the one we ended on, and pull. And it looks like we need to go down through the one to the left, to straighten them all out. There we go. And we'll come back up through the last bead we put on and pull. Now they're all sitting in a row, and we've got this. Alright, and now all we have to do is start our next row, which will be our little 2x3 rondelles. Let me see, where's that tail thread coming from? Make sure to keep it out of the way. And pick up 2 rondelles. Now remember, we're going to skip 2 thread bridges. We're going to go through 2, not the first thread bridge, but the second. Makes sense because we got 2 beads, right? And then we're going to go up through that last bead and pull. Now, what I was going to say is, remember, is when you're working with these little, especially Chinese crystal rondelles, don't pull against them real hard because it will cut your thread. And then we're just going to find our next thread bridge, go under it, and then needle up through our rondelle, just like we did the seed beads. Now, these are bigger than the seed beads, so, you know, you probably won't hit every single thread bridge. This is where you gotta use your own judgment and take in consideration the size of the bead. So, you know, pick up your bead, come through the thread bridge that looks like will work with the size of your bead, and needle up through it. Try not to squeeze them too close together. We don't want them bunched up. You don't want them spaced out too far either, though. Pick up one. See, that thread bridge is taken, so we'll go to the next one. And needle up through that bead we just added. As you go, you just want to make sure to press and tug and keep everything straight. So we'll pick up one more, and we'll go to next thread bridge. Let's say the next available thread bridge, and we'll needle up through. Now, my thread's getting short, and soon I will have to add thread. And that won't be hard with a project like this. I'll show you when I get ready to add thread. I'll come back and show you. Needle up through that bead. Okay, so continue to go around and finish this row. Okay, let's add some thread. So I snicked around and ended my thread. I just snicked back through some of these beads and cut it off. Yeah, what side did I end on? Right here, I believe. Yeah, right there. I haven't burned it yet. So I got to be coming out of this bead, up, down. So I'll go down, let's see, up, down, up, down, up, down. I'll go down through this bead and come up through. Trying not to get the tail thread in it. Up. Sorry, hope you saw that. I'm just snaking up and down on these edge. And I got it calculated to where I'll be coming up out of the last bead I was coming up out of when I had to switch my thread. Now I'm right back to where I was. See? And now I'll just continue picking up my bead and finding a thread, needling under a thread bridge and needling up through and pulling it down tight. Alright, so just continue all the way around and we'll connect this row and finish up with the last row and then put our ear wire on. Alright, let's connect this row, and so we just jump over to the very first bead that we added in that row, coming out of the last bead we added, and then we'll jump back up into the last bead and then pull, and I should pull them together even, and if it's not even, then you will jump back down into that first bead again, and it's laying kind of wonky to this side, so that tells me I need to jump over into this second bead and pull it straight, and that worked pretty well. Alright, now one more row to go, and that is another row of the lava red. So of course we're going to pick up 2 seed beads. We're gonna, let's see, are we going to skip 2 since these are so big? I don't think so. Let's see. Well, yeah, let's do. Let's see. And we're going to come up through that second seed bead. And we're going to pick up another needle under the next available. You know, there might, in some of the, like that one, of the thread bridges, you might need 2 aluminos. If the next thread bridge is farther than the size of your bead, you'll have to go into the previous thread bridge. Alright, so continue around, putting the last row on, come back, and we'll put the ear wire on. Okay, so we got to find, okay, we closed up our row. I did that 4 times, 3 or 4 times. I think you can close up the row by now. So I went ahead and did that, and so now what I did is I found the center by using my needle, something straight, the center of my bead. The center is that bead right there. I counted 2 on each side, so I'm coming up out of the second one on this side. I'm going to pick up 6 red seed beads. Okay. And then I'm going to pick up 1 teal green seed bead. I got 1 here in my red pile, so I'm not going to get that out. And then I'm going to pick up a 3mm rondelle. And then I'm going to pick up a teal seed bead. And I'm going to slide those down. I'm going to go through I'm coming out on the left, on my left, so I'm going to go through the left side of my ear loop, or my ear wire. I'm going to pick up a teal. I'm going to go down through that rondelle, and only the rondelle. I'm going to pull everything down tight or snug. Make sure each of the 2 seed beads are on either side of that ear wire loop. And then I'm going to pick up a teal and 6 red seed beads. 4. But this lava red is beautiful. A beautiful color. And then, okay, I'm coming out here. I'm going to skip 3 and go down through the next seed bead. And pull. Okay, I'm going to go up. I'm just snaking my way up and down through these seed beads on the edge. Well, what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to go down through this 2x3, and then I'm going to have to come up and catch that next 2x3 and the 11, so I can go back through and reinforce my ear wire. I usually do it 3 times. I don't think I'm going to have enough thread to do it 3 times, but I'm going to go ahead and do it the second time. I'm going to come up and catch all the seed beads, do what I just did. I'm going to come up through all the seed beads, and then I'm going to come up through the rondelle and one of the teal seed beads. See right there. I'm going to, I feel like something's not right. Okay, I got it fixed, and so I'm going to go through the loop. I came up through the teal seed bead, right under the loop. I'm going to go through the loop. I'm going to go back down through the teal seed bead, or on the other side, and then I'm going to go down through the rondelle and the second leg of the, the hanger that puts the ear wire on. I'm cut. Okay. Then we're going to come down through this 11 now. Up through the next. We're snaking it around to make it nice and secure. Because believe it or not, if you try to take these earrings apart, say you just cut, you have to cut more than once to get them apart, because this is a very secure stitch. And just snake around a few times, however many times you want. I'm running out of thread, so I'm going to make this my last. And now, as for this, what you're going to do is we're going to get a little bit of glue and a toothpick, and we're going to put a little speck of E6000 on a toothpick, and we're just going to put on the end of that bead and bring it up and let it set, and we're going to put some more on the top of this bead and bring it up and let it sit for 12 to 24 hours. So that way, you don't have to worry about it, flopping around. Alright, so just go ahead and, my scissors are getting dull. Go ahead and cut that thread off. Now, remember we still have our stop bead on our tail thread. So we will pull it off. We'll probably have to, sew this one in. Just snake around a few times. Put your needle on it, snake around a few times, and that's it. And so, I know the 3mm beads don't match, but the necklace will be done in this emerald green. We're going to make, I think, 3 or 4 of these components, and then I'm going to well, you'll see. We're going to make a necklace to match the earrings. So fun. Can't wait. And that'll be my next video. And then after that, we will make the fairy frost or winter frost. Not sure what I'm going to name it, but bracelet to match the pendant, or at least to go with it, So a lot of new exciting stuff coming up. Alright, so stay tuned, and thanks for watching. I want to say hi to my new subscribers. I noticed, I've been getting them regularly, new subscribers, and wanted to say hi, welcome, and I hope you enjoy my creativity, and I'll be seeing you soon. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody.